Good morning, church. For our short devotional thought this morning, I want to take us to Romans chapter 5, and we're going to be looking at Adam's sin and how that affects us. And the reason I want to address that is because I think for many of us, whether we're Christians or looking into becoming a Christian, this concept that Adam's sin, making us sinners, is quite difficult to swallow. It's something that trips us up. So I want to address it and kind of clarify it for us so that we can move on from this issue. And so the first thing that I want to point out is that actually this idea that a federal head, a representative's actions affecting everyone else, is not a foreign idea to us. It's not an alien thought to us. And I would suggest that actually it's an idea that we've accepted in every other realm of life except when it comes to the Bible. So let me give you an example. Let's say, for example, Jacinda Ardern as our Prime Minister, as the representative of our nation. Let's say, ironically, that on Twitter she starts cussing out Donald Trump and saying all these terrible things about him, and we start a war with the United States. She starts a war with the United States, and then so Trump sends troops and missiles and whatnot, and we get into a war. Hopefully something like that never happens, but if it did, we understand the consequences of that, right? Because Jacinda Ardern, as our federal head, her actions as our representative make a difference to us. It impacts us. Or perhaps closer to home, I'm sure you've heard many stories of pastors of churches doing terrible things, and then that, as a result, affecting the whole congregation, right? So this idea that the representative head, their actions affecting everyone else, it's actually something that we accept in every other realm of life. So this shouldn't be that outrageous to us. That's the first thing. The second thing is this. Is in Romans chapter 5, we're just going to read one verse, but please feel free to go read around it. It's theologically dense. The argument that Paul gives is that actually everything is a level playing field. You think it's unfair that because of Adam we're all sinners? Well, in the same way, because of one man's actions, Jesus, we're all made righteous. Listen to this, verse 19 of Romans 5. For just as through the disobedience of the one man the many were made sinners, so also through the obedience of the one man the many will be made righteous. So any sense of injustice that we feel that, because of Adam, I'm a sinner. Well, actually, in the same way, because of one person's righteous actions, namely Jesus, the new Adam, we're all made righteous because that righteousness is imputed to us when we receive the gospel. So, what's our action point from this? I think one response to this is that we can rejoice, we can worship, we can thank God. We can thank God that our being received or declared righteous is all because of Jesus, is because of another. That's something to worship and rejoice in. Because if it was down to us, if we were in charge of making ourselves righteous before God, that's a God-sized task that we cannot fulfill. So, God saved us through Jesus Christ, through his obedience, through one man's obedience, the many became righteous. That's something to thank God for.